My name's Chris Hunt, game developer behind Kenshi and founder of Lo-Fi Games. I spent 12 years creating my dream game, Ask Me Anything. Hello Reddit. I'm Chris Hunt, founder of small indie dev Lo-Fi Games, creators of sandbox RPG Kenshi. I spent the first 6 years working alone, while doing 2 days a week as a security guard before alpha funding the game, and building a small team, and creating Lo-Fi Games. Last December we released our first game, Kenshi. Also here is my sister Nat, user, Kimatsu. She is the writer, and did 99% of the game's dialogue. Note: Kenshi 2 is still in early stages. Bear in mind any answers I give about it are not yet guaranteed, or set in stone. Don't use these quotes to shoot me down 5 years from now. Edit. Okay, I gotta go home and eat. I will revisit here tomorrow morning though, the 9th of August, and answer a few more questions. Thanks all for the great reception. A moderator here for r/Kenshi, asking questions for those among the community who couldn't make it. Close bracket. U/Alfredo0634 asked, is Kenshi 2 supposed to be way before the first? What can we expect to see? As in world state, cars, giant robots, bigger cities, etc. U/Glorious3 asked, I saw that Kenshi may get moved to the newer engine. Is that true? And is there an eater? Will the new game have landscape and object lot? U/Nectus asked, will you allow modding to go further than FCS and let us do insane mods like Skyrim, Fallout 4? Yes, it's something like 1000 years before the first game. The content is secret. We are working on a new, secret, engine for Kenshi 2, and hoping to be able to port Kenshi 1 as well. The Kenshi 1 port is a lot of extra work though. It depends on the engine modability. Because most of the game code is in C++, it can't be modded, but that's the only way we can get a seamless world with 800 characters running around at a time. Did you make the beak things? Did you make the fucking beak things, you asshole? Just for that, double beak things in Kenshi 2. Okay. But is it twice as many beak things or double beak things? Because I'm okay with it either way, but I fear for beep. Hopefully both. Then in the future the beak things had less limbs to eat, and they evolved to have half as many mouths to feed, and the population dropped. Twice as many double beak things. Discord mod fan here, just gonna copy over my question from there, since it didn't make it to the curated list XP. Will there be a stronger focus on making sure the world works on a logistical level, that is all factions having a visible and discoverable chain of supplies, showing how they feed their people, supply their armies, and so on, within a realistic frame, similar to how we as players have to grow food, and mine and process ore? Probably not. I see the benefits, but it's an enormous amount of work for a relatively small payoff. Possibly could manage some sort of hybrid semi-dynamic system. I think a lot of the complexity can be removed if you abstract it from a top-down approach. You don't have to simulate every little thing, but have a simplified system that trickles down the details to the loaded area and be affected by it in broad strokes, almost like how world states function. Yeah, that's true. It's the sort of thing I meant. Not a bad idea actually the more I think about it. What made you choose the Ogre engine when you started making the game? It is the year 2000. UE4 and Unity don't exist yet. Quake 3 is the best engine around, and probably costs $1 million to use. It's a choice between Talk 3D and Ogre. I went with some other engine that began with C, I think. It died. I switched to Ogre, open source, raw C++ and as future proof as you can get. That we managed to stretch it to 2018 is proof of that, even if it doesn't run that good no more. Do you have plans to expand the FCS's options beyond the scope of what you need for implementation in either Kenshi 2 or even 1? You've made some additions, and think you asked what more could be added on Steam, but it still lacks little things that modders have wanted for a long time. Taking items away during dialogue, arbitrary world states to trigger through dialogue alone, spawning NPCs on the spot, and so on. It would help a lot to even expand existing functions to other items, like full skill bonuses for all types of equipment, some conditional checks, even those animation overrides, could be added to equipment, or triggered through dialogue, or attached to an AI package. And thank you for the amazing game. We will add a few things. I just pasted your post into my notes.txt file for future reference. Kenshi was inspired by stories of traveling Ronin, according to Wikipedia. Can you give us a few specific examples of books and stories that acted as an inspiration? 7 Samurai, Kung Fu films, Mad Maximum. I love the Malazan books, the sheer depth of history and world building is astounding. Dark Souls for the way it embeds history, lore and a sense of wonder into the world using barely any words. I've been seeing a lot about Malazan recently, possible Baader Meinhof phenomenon. Kinda hesitant to get into another mega fantasy series, but I see this one is actually finished, bar spin-offs. Thanks for the replies by the way. I'm an old man, legit, but I feel giddy reading these replies. Could be my blood pressure. Tried reading Malazan 2 times. This time I quit in book 9. There are some great books in there, but the cast changes so much it's hard to come to like, know or even remember who the hell everyone is in the later books. With the very limited reading time I have in my life now, Malazan just isn't worth it. Yeah, I started 15 years ago.